Foreign Secretary Robert Prasad has described the project to target younger Guyanese living abroad as innovative, explaining that it authorizes those involved either at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation or the International Organization of Migration to go directly after the second and third generation of Guyanese living in the diaspora. This is being done with the hope of convincing them to return home. Some $38 million has been made available for this specific initiative. Prasad was quick to caution that these efforts were in no way intended to give preferential access and opportunities to persons living abroad at the disadvantage of persons living in Guyana.
We don't want to lose a second and third generation of Guyanese living overseas, losing interest and also missing out on the opportunities here, but also to attract their skills, their capital to support what is taking place. And I want to make it absolutely clear that our emphasis in the diaspora is not to the disadvantage of persons who have lived here, who worked here, who've studied here, and who have perhaps made a sacrifice of staying on. Because sometimes I think people see it as a competition. It is not. For us, it is how we can complement the progress that we're making, how we can, as it were, to further support the government's vision and the developmental drive, the president's own efforts to transform the country. So it is utilizing that resource out there and to see what we can attract to support what we have here. So it is not taking away opportunities from persons here. So I want to make that absolutely clear.
A 2020 analysis of the Guyanese diaspora done by Washington-based Center for Strategic and International Studies has found that as a consequence of steady immigration, only about half of Guyanese now live within the borders of Guyana, with the remainder scattered in diaspora communities across the globe. The analysis found that Guyana's immigration rate is one of the highest in the world, numbering at 30,000 annually, a sizable portion for a country with a total population that has never reached 1 million. To stem this, the People's Progressive Party government has been keen in its efforts to not only stem migration, but to go after Guyanese living abroad to have them return home. Commenting on the fruits of these efforts, Prasad said the response from the Guyanese diaspora to return home has been positive.
I think there has been. From the North America, from the Caribbean. Also, we've seen a lot from our neighboring countries, whether they be Venezuela, whether it be Suriname, and I pointed to the Caribbean. It also persons, because of the difficulties. Take, for instance, even in Trinidad and Tobago. Although they are limited in terms of traveling, there's been a lot of interest in persons, Guyanese, who are there wanting to come back. So yes, not only from further afield, but even from within, we've seen that interest.
As part of enhancing its plans of engaging and involving the diaspora to support its national development priorities, the government has reintegrated diaspora and re-migration matters into the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. The Diaspora Unit is now staffed and will be headed by the Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Transport and Harbors Department, Rosalinda Rasool. She will be supported in her duties of leading the government's diaspora engagement activities by Foreign Service staff and former head of the Consular Section of Guyana's Embassy in Belgium, Leroy Adolphus. For the newsroom, Kurt Campbell.